Alright everybody, you're here for another Rubik's Cube tutorial. You may have seen my first video. It's about 10 minutes long and it's start to finish on the whole cube, all steps, all rhythms. Now I had a request to do another one, spend a little more time on it, kind of dive into each one. So I've got some spare time here, so I figured why not, I'll make another video, really dive into this, kind of have a whole understanding of how the cube works, where these cubes are going when you do these rhythms. Sometimes you find yourself just completing a rhythm, you don't really know what's going to end up where, you just know that it's the right way. So maybe with a little more understanding it'll make things easier. We'll also get into some of the like worst case situations, you know, what if this happens, what if this happens. So let's go over some basics. You're going to want to start by picking a color on one of the sides here. I always start with the white side because it stands out from the other colors very easily. So I just think that's a good start. So the white will essentially be your bottom when you're completed. So you're going to have a bottom, you got your middle row, and then your top, which is yellow. So we're going to start on the bottom here and work our way up. So on step one, we're just going to do the bottom row, or well, first video anyways. Second video, we're going to do the middle row, and the third video, we're going to do the top row. So starting with the bottom, the first thing we want to do with our white center is get a white X. So what you want to do is you just want to look around your cube for these white center pieces. Alright? And then what you need to do is get them up on this middle row like this one is. Again, this is your bottom row, here's your middle row. So get them up on your middle row, and then from there you can just rotate it around the cube until you're ready to bring it up and put it next to the center. Now that's real simple to do right now because there's no other ones that matter where it's at. So go ahead and look for another one. You've got these here. These are on the bottom row and the top row, so we need to get them on the side, so that's real simple. Just give it a turn. Now a situation like this, obviously these can both turn up and end up on top. We've got this one here, so why don't we give this one a little turn. And now both of these can just move right on top next to that centerpiece. Easy as that. So let's look for the last one. Alright, so this one's on the bottom. So what we want to do is give it a turn to get it on the middle row. Now you can do different types of turns, but you don't want to mess anything up like the one on the top here. You don't want to go any other, any other direction. There's a number of things you can do, but you want to get it to where you're going clockwise or counterclockwise where it's still facing you and get it on the side. Now I would recommend doing that over here so you don't mess these up. So just give this one a turn here. That way you can turn everything and not mess up the three that you got in place. So give it a turn. That's on the middle row. Now you want to get it to where it needs to be so you can turn it up and end it up here. So obviously if we do that right now, it's not going where we want it. So just give it a turn. Here we go. Now we can bring it up right where it belongs. Pretty simple. So practice that a few times. You'll get it down. It's not really some kind of rhythm. It's just a matter of finding where these are, getting them on the side, bringing them up. So the next step is you got to make sure that these are on the right side as well. The way you determine that is the centerpiece that it's below. They should match, just like this, red and red. So this one's where it needs to be. Green and orange, this one is not where it needs to be. We need a green one here. And these obviously the same. Blue's good. You're always going to have two that match. They're either going to be side by side, like the blue and the red here, or they're going to be across from each other. All you need to do when this happens is switch these two. It's very simple. We just need to backtrack like we did a second ago, get it on the side again, and then we're going to rotate it like we did previously until it's where it needs to be. So we're only moving one turn here because we just got to replace this one. If it was all the way around here, then we would do another turn, but we don't need to. So just move it to the side it needs to be on, bring it up. We've kicked off this one, so we're going to bring it around to where it belongs now. It's new home where the other one came from, and we're going to turn it on top. Now you got your oranges and you've got your greens. The reds and the blues were already done, so you're all set on all five of these. You're in good shape now. So now what you want to do is you want to get these corners complete. Now again, this is one of those things where they can be in a corner, but they need to be in the right corner. This one's clearly in the right corner because it's green and it's got the orange. If it had red and blue here, it wouldn't be in the right corner. So what you want to do with these is find the corners. You got one here, you got one here, you got one here. If you got one on top, always start with that one because that's where it needs to be to start the rhythm that you're going to do to get it to its corner. When you move this, you'll end up finding these will end up on top as well. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So the first thing you need to do is determine which corner this one goes in. You can tell that by the color on the other side of the white. It's blue. So this needs to be on the blue side. So let's find the blue side. So we're just going to rotate it around until we find the blue side. There it is. So we know this is the blue side because it's got the two blues here. So it's essentially just going to go right down here. So what you do from here, you got it on the top row, it's facing you, it's on the blue side, you're going to give it a turn away from the blue. It doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise, it just matters what color you're turning it away from. So if it was on this side and it was green, you turn it away. We're on blue. So turn it away from the blue, it's still up top, it's facing you, and then these two guys came up here, so you're just going to bring it back where it was a second ago. And then that's it. You're right next to where you need to be. Bring that down, and you're done. Alright? So, looky here. Just like I said, a white one will end up coming up most of the time from moving the others. So this one's green, so let's get it on the green side. There we go. We got the two greens, we got the green, white's up top, we're ready to go. So again, we're going to turn it away from the green. We're keeping it on the top row, facing you. It's brought this one up, so we're going to put it where it came from, or right next to the other white one. And we're going to bring it back down where it belongs now. There we go. So one more. Alright, so we got a fun one. This one's on top, so this is a good situation to deal with. What you want to do is get this one, in this situation, over the one that's missing so you don't mess up anything else. So we got it over this. If this wasn't completed, then it really wouldn't matter which one you did. You would just want it over an empty one. So you're going to give it a turn so it ends up on the top row on the side. Give it a few turns in either direction so you can get it clear from going back on top. And then you want to bring this center piece back down where it was because you don't want to screw that up. So now this is on the side so we can get back to the rhythm we did with all the rest. It's got blue on it. Find the blue. Now this one you can see we're moving the other direction, just as long as we're moving it away from the blue. We're going to turn it. We're keeping it on the top row, facing us. These whites have come up here. Turn it back to where it came from. You're next to those whites. Bring it down, and there you go. That's it. You got all four where they go. You can tell they're in the right area because all four sides are the same color completed. And that's it. You're ready to move on to row number 2. So give me a second, I'm going to get cleaned up here and then we'll dive into row number 2. Thanks.